it did make me feel bad when she was crying with Kelly and everything in that scene about how much she poured into the salon. But, you know.
That's yeah.
Should have thought about that when you were printing that poster at Staples.
Mm.
All right.
You should have thought about that when you went into Marlo's place of business and, you know, tried to throw a wrench in her business plans.
Right.
You should have thought about that when you was twerking on Peter and flirting with Apollo.
Should have thought about that when you tried to sabotage.
No, they're gonna go in.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna wrap
Cut
it
some of this out.
Right.
Cut the cameras. Get it.
You want a moment? Have your moment.
You're having a moment.
I am a moment.
You gonna learn today.
And I'm like, where is this audacity coming from?
It's Justin Diego back with another Bingeworthy video. And today I am so happy to finally, actually I'm not happy. I'm actually kind of sad to have to talk about Brit Eady and this beef with Kenya Moore, where now everything is out there. And it's been such a crazy night that I just could not talk about this by myself. So I have one of my best friends, Aaron, here. Aaron has like 50,000 best friends, so.
Well, I say one of because I don't want to offend another. If I say my best friend or the best friend, so one of, but I only have one other.
You have a lot. I've heard a lot of your friends say you're their best friend. But yeah, so I am so happy to finally have Aaron here, House of Aaron on YouTube. We've been talking about doing a collab forever, and I always wanted to do it whenever it made sense. And I feel like we've known about this Brit Eady mess, and I just knew that when it hit the fan, I wanted to do it with him. I just didn't know tonight was the night.
Yeah. For support. Because I'm kind of hurt.
Yeah.
There's not a man that I fear. There's nobody here that can stop me. Because I'm in a league of my own, kid. Y'all can just sit back and watch me.
My personal opinion is, did she really though?
Wait, you know that I'ma renovate. You know I'm about to lock it. All my monster they was looking for just like the Loch Ness. Thinking they gon' knock me off the throne, they better stop it. They can never reach me where I'm at, I'm in a rocket.
Honestly, I was in my head, I felt like she probably did say something about a gun, but she wouldn't be crazy enough to say it on camera.
Like me.
And then she said it on camera. So now I'm like, girl, really?
It's hard to protect you. Finally, he's out there.
Yeah.
And this is not what I expected. Why are you laughing?
Because I just kind of felt like, I don't know. I just kind of felt like these two women, they're very similar. They're very, very, very similar. So it just was jarring at the mess. I feel like they was both trying to pull the same tricks on each other, and it was just a mess.
And I know Team Tor has been waiting to hear my official stance. Like, it's crazy, and we'll get into this later, but I feel like I have all of these people who literally, in one hand, hate me now, but they really can't wait to hear what I have to say about stuff. I'm like, if I didn't like a YouTuber, I would like avoid their stuff. Like, I wouldn't care. The people that I don't like, I don't care what you say. Mm-hmm. So it's really hard because I'm like, okay, I guess what people are waiting for is for me to apologize.
Or say Kenya has been vindicated.
Like,
which ain't never gonna come out of my mouth.
What are y'all waiting for?
I guess to say I was wrong. Or like, I guess they don't like the fact that you have been somewhat critical of Kenya.
And I'm still gonna be critical of Kenya.
Right, because there's things to critique.
Right.
You don't think.
I'm thinking.
You don't think.
Now that the official episode has aired, it has been officially confirmed that Brit Eady did in fact say something that could justify Kenya feeling like she was threatened with a and my personal opinion is, did she really though?
you know, she low-key did. She low-key did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously I would never want a shootout on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, what the hell? Like, I think that goes without saying. And I also feel like with what Brit said, I don't really feel like she really threatened Kenya.
It was in the heat of the moment. I mean, I don't know Brit. You know, she hasn't been on the show, obviously, as long as Kenya. But from what I do gather from her, I don't feel like she would ever actually shoot one of her co-stars. So I just kind of feel like it's very crazy. You know, I mean, we are in Bankhead, so maybe the spirit just, you know, that hood spirit just kind of came over her for that quick second. But I think it was more of a heat of the moment thing. And I think Kenya even knows that as well. Because from my eyes, she was acting like, ooh, I'm so glad she did that. Now I can get her off the show because you knew you didn't like her.
I'm glad you bring that up because here's the thing. First of all, I have always appreciated each and every one of these girls in their own way. Whenever I see these girls, most of them have said, and you've witnessed it, hey, we love what you do, but you're messy though. But you're fair. So I feel like, when did I become this nasty, rude person who deserves the wrath of hate? Like, I don't understand. Like, any girl who does weird things on this show, I call it out. So I guess now I gotta call out Brit, huh? Okay, so I don't hate Kenya. I think that should go without saying. I'm following the storyline of the show. The storyline of the show is Kenya versus Brit. Kenya did something to Brit that resulted in Kenya no longer being on the show. My opinion is in line with that.
Yeah, but they also feel like they want more of the context. Why did Kenya do what she did?
I didn't know. Now I know that Kenya's claims that she was threatened are true.
Somewhat.
To a certain degree.
Yeah.
Kenya has done this with Portia. Like, Kenya does this thing where she's smart. I'm an Aquarius too, just like Kenya. We both love the color purple. We both can be a little bit with the and I feel like I can peep her game. And Kenya has always been smart. She was manipulative and she tried to get Portia fired.
And it kind of worked.
Literally, when Portia was about to drag her on stage, she was just like, get fired, get fired. So it's just like, if you pay attention, you can learn Kenya's motive with
Kenya
everything.
provokes people. She tries to make people feel away so that they kind of go berserk. And she tries to bait them into doing something that she can then latch onto and then try to, you know, get them fired. She's done it multiple times now.
And then walk with her head up high like, I got this bitch kicked off the show. Mm-hmm. So if somebody else does that to Kenya, it's not fair that we can't be like, oh, she got you kicked off the show, which is this thing that you've always wanted to do and you've never actually been successful.
And that's the thing. You've never been successful at it. You weren't successful the first time. So I don't know why she thought she was going to be successful the second time. Because at this point in time, Portia's still there.
Yeah, and she's risen. Still she rose.
Okay, because Portia was at the bottom for a long time. Portia was at the bottom. Mm-hmm. I kind of felt like she got kind of bullied over the years. Mm-hmm. And now she's kind of like the top dog.
Right.
So it didn't work Kenya back then, and it certainly didn't work now. So, you know, I'm sorry that you felt threatened. Okay, I'm not going to even say that she was threatened. I'm sorry you felt threatened. But, girl, Brit Eady did a Kenya on you, and it worked.
And you got to cope, babe. You got to cope.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I will say this. I was disappointed in Brit that she said that, because I remember I made this long, detailed video about the events that happened. And one of the first things that kind of gave me the green light to talk about this was when Brit posted that story saying, like, I would never do that. Like, I've never even been to jail. I've never owned a gun and all this stuff. And I'm paraphrasing. I will go back and see what she actually said. But to me, that made it seem like there's never going to be this footage that Kenya is claiming happened. Like, I thought like Kenya was manipulating us in that situation. So it was disappointing to finally see that footage because, or see and hear actually, because it's one thing to get audio, but babe, you saw the cameras pointing at you.
Yeah.
And you said it twice.
And I felt like Kelly was low-key trying to be like, girl, be quiet. Be quiet. You're doing too much.
See, it happened so fast and I literally was in shock. I really don't even remember it. We didn't watch it together and I didn't even realize she said something similar twice. Mm-hmm. My mouth was just on the floor because I was just like, I have defended my good sis for months. Almost a year at this point.
Yeah. I'm disappointed too because in my head, I never ruled out that I never knew like what was true.
Every time I asked you, you were just like, you didn't seem like you would be shocked. And I was trying to mentally prepare myself for the possibility and you never really.
Well, I felt like, honestly, in my head, I felt like she probably did say something about a gun, but she wouldn't be crazy enough to say it on camera. And then she said it on camera. So now I'm like, girl, really?
And it's hard to protect you. I'm still gonna, ride, but it's not that easy now. So yeah, Team Twirl, yes, y'all are up 1.
Never.
For a limited time. Enjoy it, while supplies last. Because
her final episode is
wait. Cut.
He messy.
Cut the camera's dead ass.
No, this is him.
You wanted to provoke
She's doing
me?
it to herself for what?
Okay, so I don't even know if I've ever told you this, but I do have an unpopular opinion.
I think all of your opinions have been unpopular thus far.
Drag me. Okay, so my unpopular opinion is I don't think Kenya should have been fired.
I don't think I've ever said she should have been fired either. I've had fun making fun of the fact that she's been fired, but I think Kenya's great for the show. Kenya has gotten on my nerves since day one, but I am logical enough and not delulu like a lot of other TV watchers to where I understand that you need a delulu person, you need a crazy person, you need a villain because that's what makes the show.
Right.
So, I would have liked to have seen Kenya be a full-time housewife this season.
In this situation, even with what Kenya did being so crazy, I don't think that it was crazy enough to be terminated or whatever.
Well, did she quit?
And that's one of the things that I guess we'll have to watch to see. My opinion is if you are ever no longer a part of this show, you were fired. I just don't see people walking away from this show, but I just thought about something. She could be getting paid the same amount.
She probably is.
To just go about her business.
Maybe.
And at that point, didn't she win? Well, no, because then her salon is still closed.
Yeah. It throws a wrench in her plans.
Yeah. So, so they are saying that I don't think that Kenya should have been fired. It's hard to say that I want her back on the show next season because I do feel like her actions after have been negative towards the show. And I don't think that it's ever okay for any cast member to go against the show. I think it's so selfish. I think it's rude to your friends on the show. I think that it's rude to your fans and it's rude to all viewers of the show. Like, if you're not going to help the show, you should never hurt it. And I'm never going to change on that.
But she genuinely feels like she's been done wrong. And, Nene did what she did.
And we see how that went for Nene, unfortunately.
Right. Kenya, you've had time to study, and yet you're pulling playbooks that we know don't work. Justice for Kenya?
I tweeted that initially. I was just like, it did make me feel bad when she was crying with Kelly and everything in that scene about how much she poured into the salon. But,
That's yeah.
Should have thought about that when you were printing that poster at Staples. All right.
You should have thought about that when you went into Marlo's place of business and, you know, tried to throw a wrench in her business plans.
Right.
You should have thought about that when you was twerking on Peter and flirting with Apollo.
Should have thought about that when you tried to sabotage.
No, they're gonna go in.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna wrap.
Cut some of this out.
Right.
Cut the cameras.
We're
Dead at. No, genuinely, I like having fun. I like poking fun at Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And I like, it's fun.
And it's not hateful. We're talking about the villain.
Yeah.
Like, can we not play with the villain? Damn. Like, and my thing is, the worst thing we can do is not talk about you.
Very true.
To me, that is the people who should be mad.
Mm-hmm. Because there's one girl. Whenever I name all of the women, it's always this one girl that I always forget. It's so bad.
Who? Tell me in my ear.
No, I'm not gonna tell you.
Tell me in my ear, even though you mic'd up. I mean, I love all of them.
We know.
Yeah. Genuinely too. All right. Well, this has been fun. I feel like now that we've done it, I feel like I want to do it more.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was a little shady night for us.
A little.
Thanks for doing this with me. It's been really fun talking with you on camera because I feel like these conversations we have all the time.
Yeah. And I feel like we're trying to compose ourselves and not go off the because I feel like in real life we be saying some like yeah, we don't want y'all to hate us too bad.
Right, not too much. We gotta ease into it.
Keep it cute.
But yeah, thanks again so much for watching this video. Comment right now, guys, and let me know, how do you feel about this whole Brit Eady and Kenya Moore situation? I know that I'm still kind of taking some time to process it, and I hope that there is not things that I miss, but I'm gonna go back and watch the episode probably 2 or 3 times, and then I'm gonna prepare myself for next week whenever it gets even crazier.
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot to go back and digest because now that I'm even thinking about it, I don't mean to make your video longer, but when she first mentioned the didn't it kind of seem like she was saying it in the context of like something happening to her, like an act of defense?
Right.
And then Kelly was like, oh girl, you good. We got the bodyguard. We got Kenny or whatever his name is.
Everything she was saying was like, here are the reasons why I am not gonna be a victim tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got the security, I got this, I got that. So yeah, I feel like she was basically making sure people knew not to play with her. Mm-hmm. Not talking about what she would do. It was
still over the top though.
Yeah. I mean, maybe a cocktail or two was involved.
You gonna learn today.
Thanks again for watching. I will see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a bag, don't let it go. I keep a crown up, don't let it slide down. Can't wait to shine out, like I said right now. Got my crown up, don't let it slide down. Can't wait to shine out, like I said right now. I got my crown up, yeah, I got my crown up, yeah, got my crown up. Wait, I got my crown up, yeah. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a bag, don't let it go. Got their mouth full of my name. No wonder why they all on the